So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to get a professional sounding mix in your bedroom, especially for beginner producers. So without wasting time, let's dive into it. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the habit of throwing in a plugin or an effect into your processing chain or your vocal chain or your mix chain without even listening to the mix or the vocal. So this is a very big mistake that I see a lot of beginners make, because they just throw in an EQ, a compressor, a saturation plugin into the mix chain or the vocal chain without even listening to the mix. So before you start making any decisions or adding any plugin or doing anything to the mix, first of all, listen to the mix so that you can pinpoint and find out the problems and the areas that need adjustment. Once you start doing this, your mix will go from at least a 10% to a 20%. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is getting quality instruments, one shot loops, and so on and so forth. And they don't have to be only the paid ones. You can get a lot of free ones that are going to sound even better. So the next tip we're going to be talking about is using plugins like VHX and car test to listen to your mix and to your sound. So these plugins are emulation plugins, so they emulate a certain type of space. For example, the VHX emulates a lot of professional studios and so on and so forth. And now the car test is for if you want to listen to what your mix sounds like in a car. Next thing we're going to be talking about is recording in an untreated space. So a lot of beginners overlook this because they don't hear the difference, but at the long run, when you start advancing, you start hearing the difference and you know that it sounds really bad. So when I'm talking about treatments, I'm not only talking about the $1,000,000 treatment. I'm talking about just using a blanket and making a vocal booth, a makeshift vocal booth that you can record on. Next tip is listen to your mix in anything you can find, whether a laptop speaker, a phone speaker, a TV speaker, anything you can find, an MP3, an AirPod, a set, anything you can find, so that you can understand if your mix translates well in all those systems. So I hope you got value from this video. Please like, comment, and also subscribe.